My entire family attended my funeral last year, but I've been living 2 towns over, working as a teacher. I was standing at the DMV counter trying to renew my driver's license when the clerk's face went pale. She looked at her computer screen, then at me, then back at the screen. She said, "Sir, I need to get my supervisor." I waited while she hurried to the back office, returning moments later with a woman in her 50s who stared at me with undisguised alarm. The supervisor asked to see my identification again, examined it carefully, then said, "Mr. Graham, according to our records, you died 14 months ago. Your death certificate was filed with the state in August of last year." I laughed, thinking it was a clerical error. I said, "That's obviously a mistake. I'm standing right here." The supervisor's expression didn't change. She printed out a document and slid it across the counter. It was a death certificate with my name, date of birth, and social security number. The date of death was listed as August 15th of the previous year. Cause of death, drowning. The informant who filed it was my wife, Melissa. My hand started shaking as I held the paper. I said, "This is impossible. I've been teaching at Riverside Elementary for the past year. I have students, colleagues, a lease on my apartment." The supervisor said gently, "I understand this must be shocking, but our records show you were declared legally dead. Someone filed this certificate, and your wife collected a life insurance payout of $500,000 according to the cross-reference with the insurance database." The floor seemed to tilt beneath me. I grabbed the counter for support. $500,000. Melissa had collected $500,000 for my death while I was alive and working 30 miles away in another town. I asked, "What do I need to do to fix this?" The supervisor explained I'd need to contact the Vital Records office, provide extensive documentation proving I was alive, and potentially involve law enforcement since fraudulent death certificates were criminal matters. She couldn't issue me a new license until my legal status was resolved. I drove back to my apartment in shock, my expired license sitting on the passenger seat alongside the death certificate. Once inside, I pulled out my laptop and started searching. I found Melissa's Facebook page, which I'd avoided looking at since our separation 2 years ago. Her profile picture showed her standing in front of a new house, smiling. Posts from last August showed condolence messages from friends and family. "So, sorry for your loss. Praying for you during this difficult time. He was taken too soon." I scrolled through dozens of comments offering sympathy for my death. There were photos from what appeared to be a memorial service. I recognized my mother, my sister, my uncle, all dressed in black. A table displayed photos of me from throughout my life. I was staring at images of my own funeral, an event that had happened while I was grading papers in my classroom. I called my mother's number, my heart pounding. She answered after 3 rings. I said, "Mom, it's Alex." There was a long silence. Then she screamed. Actually screamed, a sound of pure terror. I heard the phone clatter as if she'd dropped it. My stepfather's voice came on the line. "Who is this?" I said. "It's Alex. I need to talk to Mom." He said, "This isn't funny. Whoever you are, you're sick. Alex is dead. We buried him last year." He hung up. I tried calling back, but the line went straight to voicemail. I sent a text message. "This is really Alex. I'm alive. Please call me back." No response came. I tried my sister next, but her number had been disconnected. I had no other contact information for my extended family. Melissa had been my connection to all of them. The next morning, I went to the police station. I explained the situation to Officer Dennis Crawford, a stocky man in his 30s who listened with increasing concern. He pulled up records on his computer and confirmed that yes, a death certificate had been filed for me. He asked for documentation proving my identity and current status. I provided my expired driver's license, my teaching contract with Riverside Elementary, pay stubs, utility bills, bank statements, and my lease agreement. Officer Crawford studied each document carefully. He said, "This is identity theft and insurance fraud at minimum, possibly more serious charges depending on how the death was faked. The fact that a body wasn't actually produced for burial makes this even more complex." I asked what he meant about a body. He pulled up the death certificate details. My stomach dropped. Full story is linked below or on my channel.